Thank you, Madam Chair. The Indian Law Resource Center welcomes the work of the President and the advisors for your work to convene the consultations and to finalize this very important task. Regarding participation modalities, as we have said on prior occasions, Indigenous peoples' governing institutions are the authoritative and duly constituted decision-making bodies recognized by their own Indigenous constituents. And they should have a status in the UN that recognizes this reality. As such, Indigenous governing institutions should have rights of participation not unlike those of observers in the General Assembly. Such rights of participation must include the authority to attend and observe relevant meetings, to submit documents and proposals, to make statements, and potentially to propose agenda items in certain meetings. We support the statement earlier by the National Congress of American Indians with regards to the right of reply. In some instances, we believe Indigenous governing institutions should be able to exercise a limited right of reply, particularly where an immediate response is warranted or where their rights are implicated directly, a right which many observers enjoy. As representative entities, Indigenous governing institutions should have some priority over NGOs with regard to seating and order of speaking where appropriate, and relax limitations on speaking rights, all subject, of course, to reasonable rules of procedure for each meeting and at the discretion of the chair. While such practical limitations could be required, we want to caution against limiting participation on a regional basis, for example, by setting an allocation of set speaking slots by region. This, we think, could have the effect of establishing a de facto Indigenous representative for an entire region of the world, and that would be unworkable. Importantly, these new rules and participation modalities should not adversely affect or impair the existing arrangements for Indigenous peoples' organizations in the permanent forum and the expert mechanism, nor should they impact NGOs accredited by the Economic and Social Council. And this is recognized in the elements for discussion. Reform of these existing arrangements is not warranted by this process. It has not been recommended, and it is beyond the scope of this exercise. This exercise is to enable the participation of Indigenous governing institutions or representative institutions in the work of the General Assembly. Enabling Indigenous governing institutions to participate will not impair existing arrangements. Instead, it will enhance the international dialogue and contribute to global governance, sustainable development, and responses to worldwide challenges such as climate change, protection of biological diversity, and violence against Indigenous women. The UN Declaration recognizes that Indigenous peoples have the right to self-determination and self-govern, and we look forward to contributing to the good work ahead to establish new rules that will finally enable them to participate more fully, effectively, and permanently in the world community and to make valuable contributions to the UN. Thank you.